All right, guys, the Utah Jazz lose a really tough one in Charlotte. This is Hanson James. This is the SLC Dunk post-game show. This is a tough loss for the Jazz, who really need to find a way to get some wins. The Jazz have really struggled on the road this season. Got a nice win in their last game, and tonight they really needed to find a way to just get some sort of win streak started if the Jazz want to make the playoffs, and they weren't able to find a way to win tonight. There were a few reasons for that that we'll talk about, but we'll just talk about the Charlotte Hornets for a second. I think one of the interesting things about the Charlotte Hornets is Kemba Walker has exceeded every expectation I ever had for him in the draft. I believe he came out in the Jimmer draft and was, we talked about Jimmer and Kemba Walker, and Kemba Walker obviously has just turned into just a very, very nice all-star level player for the Hornets, whereas Jimmer obviously went another direction. But the Hornets are an interesting team. I don't know if I particularly like watching them all that much, but they do have some nice players and some interesting prospects. I think one of the interesting aspects of this game is watching Malik Monk and Donovan Mitchell, and I wonder if there are a few Heat fan or Hornets fans out there that are wondering, man, if we could have picked up Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, I just have one thing to say to you, Hornets, and I'm not trying to troll. I just want to say thank you for taking Malik Monk and not Donovan Mitchell, because my goodness, you saved the Jazz season. Honestly, if the Utah Jazz did not get Donovan Mitchell, this season would have been rough. So thank you to the Hornets who selected Malik Monk, who I think actually will be fine. It's just going to take him some time. He'll figure it out. He's a talented young player, and he'll find ways. I know he's been spending a little time in the G League and things, but you know what? The Hornets are trying to find a way to make the playoffs, and it's hard to play young players like that when you are wanting to win games. And so it's going to take a little time for Malik Monk, but he'll be fine. Don't worry. Big part of this game, two reasons the Jazz lost this game. One is we're starting to see a very clear slump for Joe Ingles. It is just, he's struggling. Shot 16% this game, and honestly, he shot like 2 for 11 in the game before, and we won that game. But honestly, if Joe Ingles just shoots a regular percentage, like he typically, even just his typical shot, even a little below average what he normally does, the Jazz can find a way to win this game and the game against the Heat or whoever it was. I can't remember if it was the Heat that we lost a really close one to. So it's just tough. We need Joe Ingles shooting back. It seems like that corner three, for whatever reason, has kind of left Joe. And so when he gets that back, the Jazz will be much better. It's very apparent they missed that spacing from Joe Ingles with his shooting and the offensive output. The other thing is Donovan Mitchell had just another monster night, like 35 points. Let's see. Donovan Mitchell, 35 points, 10 for 20 from the field, 5 for 11. And remember, some of those shots are like last-second shots and just getting a shot off at the end of the game and things like that. He's, just superstar stuff from Donovan Mitchell, who went toe-to-toe with Kemba Walker. It's nice. I thought about this earlier while watching the game. A lot of times Jazz fans have this thing where, and I've even done it before too, where you're just kind of worried about someone going off on you. Like the other team has like Kemba Walker, and we're just scared he's going to go for 40 or 50 like he did that one time we played him, or we play Harden and he's going to go off for 40 like he does against us sometimes, or whoever. The Jazz have that guy now in Donovan Mitchell. He's the star. They have to worry about him. And so at this point, Jazz fans can just kind of be excited to know that, hey, we have this guy that can go off any night. And we can worry about ourselves. We don't have to worry about the opposing team's star because the Jazz have one now. And that feels great. It's a nice thing. Yes, there are Jazz killers out there. Linus Klieza is the greatest Jazz killer of all time, because who even knows who Linus Klieza is? Jazz fans do, because he drops like 30 on us every time we play him. Then he plays other teams and he can't find a way on the floor. Well, anyways, I don't know why I'm still having like flashbacks to Linus Klieza Jazz killer nights. But luckily, you know what? The Jazz have a superstar, and we can be happy about that. We lost the game tonight. It's really tough loss for the Jazz. I don't know, honestly, if this is going to affect trade deadline. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. It might affect what kind of trades the Jazz might do. But if Mirotic is going to happen, it's going to have to come soon because the Jazz need him to make the playoffs, and they need Rudy Gobert back, and we need Joe Ingles out of a slump, and we need Dante Exum back, who was shooting shots before the game. I don't know. Tough for the Jazz fans to have this season be one of those what-if seasons where what if Rudy was healthy, and what if we could get that Mirotic trade to go down? What if Dante never got hurt? Kind of tough. The Jazz really are, every loss really is painful because now we have a serious hole. And when you're playing teams like the Hornets, that's a team that's close to the Jazz record right now. They might even have a worse record than the Jazz, and we lose to them. So I guess if you're worried about tanking, this is a good loss. If you want to make the playoffs, this is a bad loss. So tough night for the Jazz. Guys, make sure to go to SLC Dunk and read all the articles. Make sure that you go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and follow SLC Dunk. Like and subscribe this video. And if you want to follow me, my name's Hanson James on Twitter, and I'd love to talk to you and hear from you. And anyways, Jazz are coming back home for Monday. I will see you then.